Hi everyone, happy November. My name is Steph, this is the Novelty Corner and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm here with my November TBR. Again, we are changing it up and doing something just a little different. And you know what? I found that having either my set formula or readathon or just changing up to whatever's going on in my life has really helped with my reading each month. And because we are nearing the end of the year, and my goodness, isn't that a scary thought, I have decided that instead of following my usual structure of ways of choosing books, I am going to set some targets to try and finish some of my Bingo Board from Hell challenges, because I'm really close on some of them. And because I do have that complete 80% of my set TBR each month, there are 3 categories of books that I'm going to count as my set TBR. There are 2 sections that are, if I get a chance to read them, great. This is my aim to read them during the month, but I am not counting them as the set TBR because it's just a little bit broader than sort of a set TBR. And because I set my TBR and I set my challenges and it's my rules, I can do that, which is great. And anyone who tells you otherwise and anyone who sets punishments for themselves or makes their life difficult with their reading, my friends, you set the rules. You can change it however you like. The categories that I'm going to count towards my TBR are my Buzzwordathon books, which even if I change out the books from the TBR, as long as I'm reading the 2 books for the categories, that counts as completing the challenge. I have the final books in my pre-2025 TBR. I only have 2 left, so I'm going to count them on here. So they'll either be read or DNF'd. And I'm also going to count my non-fiction challenge because I only have 1 more book to read. The other 2 categories, we're just going to hope I make some significant progress in them during the month of November. So to get started, we are going to talk about the Buzzwordathon. The Buzzwordathon is hosted by Kayla from Books and Lala. We have a buzzword title prompt and we have a buzzword cover prompt. So for the buzzword title prompt this month, it is the word never, and I did not own a single book, physical or ebook or audiobook, with the word never in the title. And so that was rather frustrating for me. However, after doing a bit of a search, I have found a book on Kindle Unlimited called Nevermind by Bryce Oakley, which I believe is a sapphic romance. So I'm keen to try it because I am always looking to expand the number of sapphic books that I read. I'm hoping that this one is a good one. And then the cover prompt is food or drink. And I am cheating a little bit because I'm going back into my series challenge. And the drink item on this front cover is super tiny. It's in fact part of the series title, and that is Booklover by J.E. Birk, which is part of the Vino and Veritas series. There's a tiny little wine glass right at the very top talking about the series. So I'm counting it because I want to tackle these series. The last 2 books that I have on my pre-2025 physical TBR are these 2. There is a middle fiction book called The Word Spy by Ursula Dubosarsky. I've actually read this before, like 10, 15 years ago. When did it first come out? Because that's when I read it. 2008, over 15 years ago. I would just like to reread it because it's such a good book for word nerds. And then the oldest, never read before book on my pre-2025 physical TBR is The Hollow Places by Kingfisher. I am filming this video towards the end of October. I'm still kind of hopeful that I will finish it before October, but if I do not, it is on the list for November. Who knows how the next upcoming week will go. We'll see. Then for my non-fiction challenge, because I only have 1 book left to read, I would like to try and read The Science of Star Wars, which I've had for literal years. I've had the ebook and I also have the audiobook, and I would just like to read it because I keep seeing people talk about Star Wars books, and I'm trying to stop myself from going down a rabbit hole of rereading a bunch of those books at the moment because I've got so many other things that I would like to read that are new to me. Next year I might pick up some books because, you know, that would be kind of fun for 10 years on BookTube to go back to some of those books because I was deeply invested in the Star Wars Legends universe. You have absolutely no idea. I'm not quite in the right headspace or mindset, or even just time-wise, I do not have time to do that at the moment, especially since November is report writing month for me at work, so I'm not happening. So those are my 3 categories that are counting for towards my 80% TBR, which I think that's doable. That's only like 5 books, so we're taking the pressure off myself a little bit. Hi everyone, Editing Steph here, jumping in to say that we will be having a live show for Archangel's Consort, hopefully sometime towards the end of November. At this stage, it's potentially the second last week of November. We're still finalizing a date, just making sure that everyone can attend. But if you are planning on joining us, we will be reading it. Stay tuned. I will announce the date and time of the live show as soon as we have that nailed down. And also I received some book mail from the University of Western Australia Press and Keenan Creative sent me I think it's a middle fiction series. So there is a little bookmark for the Cockatoo Crew, which there's a little sticker on the package. There's a little sell sheet, and I don't really want to tear all the wrapping, but I will because I'm me. I'm trying not to tear the sticker. All right. We have The Cockatoo Crew. So this is book 1, Ellie's Itchy Palm, and book 2, Sambu Won't Grow by Lora Inak, with illustrations by Kruti Desai. So I'm kind of keen to explore these. I haven't heard of them. I love this length of early chapter novel, particularly since I teach year 2. So I'm hoping these are going to be fantastic reads, and they might end up being a last chapter book read for my class before the end of the year. And I adore cockatoos. I have cockatoos everywhere in this area. So thank you for the review copies. In November, I would like to complete the last of my Reading A to Z challenge series. I have read 1 book out of the 5 left remaining, so I have 4 books left. So I have V, W, Y, and Z left to go. I do have books picked out for it, so I'm hoping to get to those pretty quickly. The last square I want to challenge is the Tackle My Series TBR kind of challenge for myself in November. I currently have 4 series left to finish. I have 6 books left in the Vino and Veritas series. I have 3 Roan Parrish books. One of them completes the trilogy, the main trilogy that I was setting out to finish reading, but there are 2 spin-off books that form their own little series but are technically part of the first series. So that's my extension challenge. If I finish the 3rd book in the main trilogy and I finish everything else on my series TBR, I'm going to come back to those 2 and get them read. And then I have the last 2 books in the Mount Hope series by Annabeth Albert, and the last 2 books in the Hands of the Potter series by Christy Marie. That is what? Potentially 13 books. I mean, I can do that, or I can get really damn close to it, which is also a good thing. That is my November TBR. It is short, it is sweet, and hopefully then I can just kind of mood read around all of those as well, which will make a huge difference next month. I'm very excited. November is going to be a good reading month. The last thing that I will say is that 24 hours after this video goes live, I will be closing my channel survey that I've had up for the last month. I have got some upcoming plans for 2026. I'm looking forward to sharing them with you, but if you would like to give any feedback, or you haven't already and you've been meaning to, you've got 24 hours from the time this video goes live to do that. And then I'm shutting that down because I need to start organizing things, because I love some data. In the comments, I'd love to know, what are you planning on reading this month? Feel free to share that with me in the comments, or feel free to leave a book stack emoji to let me know that you're here. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're staying safe and healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye everyone.